It's a bird!
It's a plane!
Optimus Prime? This is one of the weirdest and most interesting Transformers knockoffs I've seen, and I kind of like it. It didn't come in any packaging, so there's no box art to look at. The figure was just wrapped in bubble wrap and just came in this box, along with 2 other Bumblebee figures that I ordered. I'm teasing these for a future video. They're also nice enough to include some stickers, as well as this after-sale service card to wish me a happy every day. Now here's a closer look at the figure. It looks, interesting. If you can't tell, it kinda resembles Superman. If the blue and red colors and cape didn't give it away for you. I bought this because I have a masochistic obsession with I mean bootlegs. Now if there's anything that I like as much as Transformers, which there's quite a few things, it's Superman. The cape right here is detachable. Please, come off. Don't embarrass me on camera. Okay. It's pretty basic looking, honestly, and it feels pretty flimsy. It also comes with a weapon. Now, I don't recall Superman ever using weapons like these before. Oh, wait, okay, never mind. And if you're a Transformers fan, you might notice that this doesn't look like Optimus's weapon. That's because it's Starscream's null rays. Here it is next to what it should be, the Ion Blaster from the Legacy Core figure. This one's just a cheap black plastic, while the Ion Blaster is a metallic gray. And for a comparison, here is Starscream's null ray from Coronation Starscream. Yeah, that's a null ray. Now this figure is just an oversized knockoff of the core Optimus. The transformation is pretty much the same, and minus the colors, they look mostly similar, except for the head sculpt here where this one has this weird G on it. If you look at the arms, the design is pretty much the same. It's got the same patterns and panel work on there. Same on this side, minus the Autobot logo. I could probably put a sticker on there, but I'm lazy. They even have that gap between the smokestacks. The chest area also looks similar. They have the same details on the thighs. The rest of the legs look similar as well from the top and the sides. The inside of the thighs look a little bit different though. Even the back of the figure is a spot-on copy of the core class figure. The shoulders and arms on the back look the same. This panel right here on both of them have the same design. Even the inside of the legs have the same design. The back of the heads do look different. This one is filled in, while this one has a gap in it. The wheels also look different. These figures pretty much have the same joints and they transform the same. Now one major difference in this figure is the head sculpt. It doesn't look right. Here's a closer comparison of the two, and I'm not really a big fan of this head sculpt. If they're gonna copy the rest of the figure, they might as well copy the head sculpt as well. I don't really understand the point of having this over here, when they could have just gone with the original look. Now another thing is that the eyes aren't painted on this, so he looks kind of dead. I might go ahead and paint it in later, maybe with a yellow or gold to fit the whole Superman aesthetic. Now the figure does have a lot of hollow bits in there, especially in the legs. Having hollow pieces in figures is one of my biggest pet peeves, even though it is like that on the original figure. It's still dumb, I don't like it. You can come at me in the comments. Now this figure is bigger than Hasbro's Deluxe and Voyager class figures that they've been releasing recently. Here it is next to the Studio Series Hot Rod, Legacy Armada Starscream. It's even bigger than War for Cybertron Optimus. Here it is next to the Coronation Starscream. Here it is next to Red Alert from Armada. And this is where the sizes are more comparable. The Alien Attack Optional Girl. And since this does have a Superman aesthetic, here it is next to a McFarlane Superman figure. And now that I think about it, if I do paint this, the eyes should probably be blue, because Superman does have blue eyes, although they're not blue here. Now this figure does have the colors of Superman down pretty decently. Obviously most of it is blue, and instead of having an S on the chest, since there's no room for that, they just made the chest piece red, and maybe these should have been yellow? Personal preference, it probably wouldn't look too good. For the yellow belt, you have gold over here, and for the red crotch piece, man, he's got kind of a bulge. They went with red for the skirt pieces here, and they opted in to go for red for the hands. They did the blue for the thighs, and then for the red boots, they got red here, and then a nice silver over here, and then obviously the red cape. Now while the color scheme of the figure makes it look like a really cheap bootleg, it doesn't feel as cheap as I expected. And it's not very loose either, it holds together pretty solid. All these joints here hold together in place pretty well. Now the articulation on this figure is mostly the same as the core figure. You can spin the head around, it's very tight. It can't look up, it can only go down for the transformation. The shoulders have a ball joint. You can bring the arms out. This one is just a tiny bit loose. The arms can spin all the way around. You can move them back and forth as well. The elbows are on a ball joint so they can bend, and you can spin them around, and it is surprisingly kind of tight. These hands right here can move in for the transformation. He doesn't have any waist movement, neither did the core figure. You can bring this up though and give his chest some movement, but that's for the transformation. The legs are also on a ball joint, so you can bring them up, you can also bring them out, and they can go back. Now the knees are also on a ball joint. You get a pretty good bend on them, and you can spin them around. Just like the core figure, there's no movement for the feet. You can untab this and get sort of an ab crunch, but this is supposed to be for the transformation. And the cape here has 3 hinge joints, so you can get some sort of weird dynamic poses with them. The cape can't really hold any of its poses besides this piece right here. Now this thing didn't come with any instructions, so I kind of had to figure out how to transform it, but that was before I realized it was essentially the core figure, so However, these Bumblebee bootlegs did come with instructions. You can get some pretty decent poses out of this guy, even with the cape on, which is really hard to put on camera for some reason. There we go. Now for a B-roll montage. Wow, wow, wasn't that a great montage? Doesn't that inspire you to do good now? Or something? There's a little hole right here for pegging, or for perhaps a stand, but none of the stands I have really fit in there. I was able to kind of get this DC figure stand to at least like hold it in place, sort of, and that kind of works. Now transformation is pretty much the same as core Optimus. You can put his head down there, bring this flap up and over, bring in these hands right here, same here, bring the arms out so you can turn them around. These right here come together like that, and then you can untab this to bring it out and bring this up here. Now we can bring the arms down, bend them right there, and then we can bring them back and bring them in like that. And then make sure these are pegged into place right in the arms. Now here is the vehicle mode on this, and it's okay. Once again, the same vehicle mode as core Optimus, and I wasn't really a big fan of that vehicle mode either. This doesn't roll too well. The wheels are kind of shitty, and there's no storage for the cape. I mean, I don't know where you would put it. This does have weapon storage for the null ray. That's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this. The bottom side looks eh. The side profile looks alright. The front of it looks really long. Let's transform this guy so I can show you that it's pretty much just the same. Bring the head in, this up, bring him around, bring these legs back. These go up here, bend the arms, bring them back in, bring the hands in, and then we can get these in place just like that. Bring those together, and these also peg into place right here. I wasn't a big fan of this vehicle mode either. This one also looks long, and they do look pretty much the same. This is just an oversized version of this, a very oversized version of this. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video right over here, and a big thank you to all my patrons who support me on Patreon for only $1 a month. Thanks, bye. I love you.